Now, we hear a lot about the anxiety epidemic, right? Does anxiety have a specific look on the paper? Can you
Yes. In
actually see
fact,
a panic attack or a chronic stress in the loop or a margin?
not in the margin, but the way the letters are formed. Yes, in fact, the moment we see that, we literally tell them that there is something that you are carrying since a very long time. And if we don't treat this, then this can be cancerous. In the sense that it's not just like one thing, but then there are a lot of things, a lot of aspects collectively that we see, and then we, speak with so much of confidence that you literally need to take that, need to
When it comes
deep
to
into it.
figuring out anxiety or the panic, right? You said that you're able to pick it up. In that scenario, that person is actually going through something which you picked up out of his handwriting or signature, right?
No. So we literally see that in the handwriting, and that's when we, get into a conversation which is deeper, and that's when, they come out saying that they literally.
Any example you have?
So
Recently came across?
The most obvious thing that we see that there is anxiety in a person is when you see the paper on the whole, the letters are literally falling down. You'll see a downward slope. The way I said a signature should have an upward stroke, 45-degree angle that shows progression. Similarly, people who having depressive anxiety issues, you see their handwriting falling down as in not so much into gradation, but you will literally see them when we ask them to write them on blank pages. You can literally see the entire sample on whole that the handwriting is falling down. So that's the biggest thing. And there are a lot of other aspects that we see, which gives us a surety. In fact, for that reason, I have worked with a person who had depressive issues for like 2 long years. She did a lot of treatments, psychiatric treatments. She met a lot of therapists. Not that it didn't work during that time. Those things were working, but then she was tired of taking medicines, and it was silently, her brain was, she had become very, her energy levels, the way she used to react to things, or she had become over dependent. So all these were symptoms that we could understand that she's going through. And when she came to me, she just said, in the sense, her parents said that we've tried each and everything. We wouldn't mind if you were so sure, and if you think that, this can help her, we would literally want to try, because as a layman, anybody says that handwriting se kya hi ho jayega. But then she came to me. I'll just, brief it very quickly. She came to me, she wrote for 2 months, and whenever we used to, I usually take follow-up sessions every 10 days, and whenever we used to speak, she used to tell me, why are you giving me so much of info? I can't just take it, just leave me. But gradually, as in when we advanced, we did a lot of specific strokes, specific letters. 4 months happened, she started, showing up differently, behaving differently to things coming up to her, people around. And that's when few of her relatives came in and said that, I guess we see change. And as in when 6 months passed, 7 months passed, there was literally a change, and she was almost 60 to 70% out of it, to the extent that when we started conversing, she enjoyed, she wanted to know more, how, in the sense, that time, initially somewhere when she started that, I don't know what are you doing with me, but I'm just doing as you're saying, and to the place where we finished, and she said that, can you please tell me what else do I do? I'm literally enjoying this become a part of my routine. And later on, after 7 months, she realized that what was I doing for 2 years? I've been a junior college teacher for past 16 years, and I've just wasted my life. I want to again open up my resumes and go back. So, that kind of self-confidence came in after, doing graphotherapy.
So did she become your student?
Oh, yes, she was with me for 6 to 7 months. In fact, she's also, with me even now. Because she said, it's become a part of her routine. As I told you, it's not about doing something. It's now more that it's a connection to my soul. It's become, So just the way we, it's just that we as humans, we think that fitness is all about physical fitness. Jogging kar diya, I've taken, the outer world can perceive. and somewhere, my resistance and all. So physical fitness is what we understand. But then everything processes from here. So iski kaun dekhega bhai?
And
Graphology is what helps.
I think that's the very reason I have started this podcast channel, to specifically talk something which is pretty different from the regular conversation. I think a sound mind resides in a sound body. So if you're physically fit, your brain will process it more easily and can embrace a lot of things with respect to your anxiety and other things. But still, there are nuances, especially these days. People are getting into mental stress and anxiety and all of those. So, but thanks to you guys that you just figure that out by just seeing the handwriting, and this is quite interesting. I've got a follow-up question in regards to this context itself. I call it as a speed trap. Yeah. And what do I mean here? That today, everything we talk about, and the speed is something which is very common. For example, TikTok, fashion, instant replies, everything. And kids of today's world are into this trap. Now the question is, what I mean to say, in this fast-paced life, wherein everything is very quick.
Yeah.
You don't have patience. Like if two people are in a relationship and person not able to respond to you, there is an instant breakup because there wasn't an instant response, right? Do you see this kind of stuff when you see the handwriting, or can you figure that out?
I guess for that reason, in today's world, because of the mobiles in hand, all of us, for that reason.
Exactly my point. This is a big issue if I see it through my lenses. Because of this fast-paced thing, people are becoming too restless. They don't have value of the very relationship for which they've been craving for a long time. They break up without even thinking. And this trend is becoming more predominant in this era. Of course, we are also the victim of it. When you see the handwriting, do you also predict, or would you be able to predict that, okay, because he is so restless, because he is not patient, so that could be one of the reasons of his mental health problem?
So not specifically like patience, but then there are a lot of different traits that we see, which makes us understand that this person is, always in a rush.
And what do we do for that? What is the solution of it, if you were to suggest that?
So we have like around 30 to 40 different strokes, not just letters. Of course, we do give letter practices, but along with that, there are 30 to 40 different strokes which works on various emotions. So there is a combination of letters and strokes that we give. Yeah, and in fact, my community, I always, my community is always been fed by me with an everyday audio note, which, in which we would every day pick up one topic and talk about, say like, how do you live with intention? So we would just speak about it for, say, around 4 to 5 minutes. And what do I do as a layman today to get this into my lifestyles, in which I would just suggest them 2 to 3 different tasks that they could do today. And that's how they get into practice. Okay. So when you talk about fast pace, so I talk a lot about, how do you joy spot? Which are the pockets in the day wherein, you can spot joy? How do you live with intention? What is the power of pausing? So these are the kind of topics which, I keep feeding them. And how can you get that into practice along with writing? So It's like a total package. It's like a holistic development. So
it's not only the handwriting wherein you focus, but it's all about the entire
Yeah. So like, if you say that I don't have patience, but then how do I build it up? So there are practices, that I keep giving in the routine life. How do we practice that? What is that one pause that, we can take before reacting? When someone has to say something, our mind is already processing that, what do I want to, throw back?
Yeah.
But can
absolutely.
we take that pause and think and then respond to what is to be said? So these kind of practices is, lots that, I also talk to my community and along with the handwriting. So handwriting basically is just a tool to connect to yourself. And that's where, they start loving themselves. So I'm also a self-love coach along as a graphotherapist. So
Yeah?
once they, yes. So once they get connected, then how different practices during the daytime changes, our entire perspective on the whole.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm just shifting a gear from kids to the professional.